Girlfriend, I am so excited about this episode. This is the secret sauce right here. We are going to be talking today about the 8 steps that you could absolutely take to create and launch your first profitable brand offer this year and in the coming years. I'm so excited. And by offer, I mean your own either course, coaching offer, or membership. These are all 3 streams of brand revenue in my business. And I love helping other women to create something that can be an additional source of impact and also income for their brand as well. This is literally the exact signature formula that I used to create and launch my first brand product, to the tune of that month that I launched was a $20,000 month, which is crazy. And those products have gone on to make tons more money in my brand and a lot of impact, which is the source of income. And you'll hear me say that over and over again. So if you are ready to boss up, get a pen out, get ready to take some notes on these 8 steps and get ready to start creating something that is going to change your business forever. I'm so stoked. Let's do this. Actually, before we get started, to that end, if you would like to take this a step further and be a part of an 8-week mastermind, it's basically a live group coaching program where I will be walking a small group of women, we're talking 10 only, through this exact process of creating and planning for plus launching your first or next brand offer. You'll want to snag a spot in Low Tech Launch Live Mastermind. So this will not officially open for enrollments. I will not be officially marketing it until about a week from now, but you can snag one of the remaining spots on pre-order. The pricing will go up once the cart is officially open for that. So if you'd like to get in on that 8-week mastermind where I walk you through hand in hand the exact process with a group of women who are also adding a course, a membership, or coaching to their brand revenue, then make sure you snag one of those spots and get it at the cheapest price it will possibly be. Okay, so now for real, let's get into it. Hey mama, I'm Ashley, and this is the Maverick Mompreneur Podcast, where you're free and encouraged to own your desire to create and scale an impactful, discoverable online brand and business in the midst of motherhood. A business that's aligned with your mission, lifestyle desires, personality, and zone of genius without wasting your time on the hustle and grind hamster wheel that is social media. Can I get an amen? Sis, you are a maverick, an original, willing to stand out in your authenticity, defy expectations, and do life and business outside the box. In our world, if it's not aligned with who we are, it's a hard pass or a brave pivot. So if you're here for the powerful identity shift and transformation from boss babe or boss mom to aligned CEO, building a one-of-a-kind, influential, hustle-free online business that will produce long-term impact and multiple streams of income through SEO, affiliate marketing, and courses, while building yourself in the process, well, pop in those AirPods, grab that cup of coffee or glass of wine, and let's get growing. Hello. We are back and ready for episode 10. Woo! Cue streamers falling down from my closet ceiling for double-digit episode numbers. Sometimes I wonder if I'll always feel like this with podcasting, but I just feel like, can we just get to episode 50? I have all of these topics lined up and it's not realistic to publish and market an episode per day, but I wish that I could, because I feel like it's all such valuable and helpful information, and I want you to have it all, but you have to tune in week by week. And so hopefully you've subscribed and you're getting notifications when new episodes dropped, and or you're on my email list. If you're not on my email list, by the way, and you're not getting any emails from me and you would like to, there is a link in the show notes that is to my website. I'm currently transitioning from my former website to elevatedwithashley.com, which I've had for a while, but was using domain for another purpose. But now that's my main site, and that has multiple options for you to get onto my email list. So that's an aside, but let's talk about the 8 steps to creating and launching a paid offer. Make sure to take some notes. This is going to be juicy and info packed. So let's get right into it. So what is an offer? When I say a brand offer, well, an offer is the product that you create. So maybe this is a course, or maybe this is a specific coaching offer that you come up with, but it's also the way that you sell it, the way that you market it, the way you sell it, and the pricing and the positioning of that offer in the marketplace. All 3 of those are what comprises an offer. Now, why create an offer for your brand? Many reasons, a plethora of reasons. But for one, getting your eggs out of one basket and building a business and a source of income that you actually own. If you sell said product, it's 100% commission minus, your business expenses. But that is something that you can control, selling, scaling, all the things. It's something that's using your unique experiences and knowledge to serve your audience. So you're taking all of your skill sets, your experiences, what makes you you, and creating an offer that's going to be so helpful for your target audience. If you're doing this right, why create an offer? To control the scaling of your income and impact, and not just being dependent upon the efforts of others to do so. So for a lot of you, you're in network marketing, you're in social selling, and scaling your income a lot of times has to do with acquiring more team members or motivating and incentivizing your current team to increase their own sales. And I don't know about you, but to me, I want to worry about my own personal business, and I want any team members that I have within that portion of my business to really feel like no one's micromanaging them. No one is dependent upon their efforts for their paycheck. And I know that's a part of it, but that's just a personal thing for me. So taking the steps to create and launch my own offers that were in alignment with my brand and what I was doing, and that were also highly helpful to my target client and or business partner, has been a total game changer. And if you've kind of followed along with my journey, you know that the year that I decided to pivot and begin to create my own offers was the first year that I reached and surpassed 6 figures, and it's gone on from there. So this is very powerful. It's not rocket science, but it's just a matter of going through a process to do this effectively and to be in alignment with what it is that you are doing and how it is that you're showing up online. So I'm sure you're wondering, how do I select something to create an offer around? And so here's my advice for you before we get into the steps, is to pick something that you love to teach and share about that complements your online brand and also your gifts. You're going to create a valuable offer, go out and offer it to people. And the more value you create, the more money you'll make. And it really honestly doesn't have to be much more complicated than that. The reason why my live program is called Low Tech Launch is because, yes, although you can create sales pages, you can have email marketing behind this, all of those things are helpful, but you do not have to have those to go out and have a profitable, impactful launch. I did not have any of that going for my first launch. I literally had a PDF with bullet points of what it was that I was offering. I pre-sold that offer. So I had the concept, I had the outline, but I just went forward, I sold it, and then I delivered it as promised and went as I went along. And it was amazing. So that first launch I'm mentioning is the Influence, Impact, and Income Academy. I ran that 5 times live, and then now it's a packaged course that you can go through self-paced and or one-on-one with me. As of right now, I don't plan on teaching it live in 2022, but that could change. The steps to low tech launch your first offer. So number 1, you're going to want to create consistent free content on the platform that you'll be launching to for 1 to 2 months. If it's longer than that, hey, that's great, but you don't need to be doing that for more than 1 to 2 months. So if you have an aligned brand, you know what kind of content you're posting, you're consistently sharing content that is valuable and helpful and shows how you and or your services and products can solve a problem, you're going to have a good launch if you have been consistent with that for 1 to 2 months. And there's obviously a specific formula that in low tech launch I teach. So each of these steps, spoiler alert, each of these steps we will go through in low tech launch live for an entire week to make sure you have all the things you need to be doing this effectively. So in this podcast, I'm not going to go over the exact content strategy I recommend, but just know that if you are a part of that mastermind, you will be getting that. So yeah, number 2, brainstorm your offer idea. This is something that I do with my clients one-on-one when they're trying to come up with their first brand offer. Brainstorm your offer idea. So come up with all of the things that you are asked questions about. So maybe you're constantly hearing, oh my gosh, how is it that you did X? Or, wow, I don't understand how you're able to do this. Can you tell me? You know, those questions that you get, things that maybe you feel are intuitive, but they're not to other people. So brainstorm any questions or comments or things that you've gotten like that, where you think, hey, I could maybe walk someone through that process actually, and think through, what did I exactly do? What was my framework for that? And really brainstorm a potential offer idea that you would be excited about creating and that you think would be highly valuable and helpful to your target audience. That is within your brand, within the type of content that you share. Then the third thing you're going to do is validate your idea. So oftentimes we'll get an idea and we get really excited about it, but we haven't taken the time to validate it with our ideal clients. So maybe we think we know what they need or want, but that's totally not what it is that they need or want. Now, there's something to be said by creating something from your heart and something that, you're like, yes, everyone needs this. And that has a time and place. But if you really want to ensure that you have an effective launch, you do want to validate your idea with your target audience. Once you have a validated idea for your offer, you're going to outline the contents of your offer. So you're not going to fully create and put onto a course platform like Kajabi that I use. You're not going to go ahead and do that and then promote this, at least not in the way that I'm recommending. You're going to outline the contents of this offer. So for me, I had this in my phone notes. I had every module outlined with the type of information I was going to share. I knew the resources I'd need to provide in the workbook, and everything was outlined. I didn't have the slides set up. I did that week by week. I was about a week ahead in the 12-week program that I offered. But what you're going to do, you're going to outline the contents of your idea, because I want you to move forward with this. If you take 3 to 6 months to build out slowly this course and then sell it and it flops, I mean, you've just literally spent all of that time for nothing. So I want you to outline the contents so that you can keep moving forward and you can go ahead and pre-sell your offer, run this as a live program. If it's a course, if it's coaching, obviously it would be live anyway, and then go forward. So then from there, you're going to prepare your launch materials and all your promotional materials. You can do this as more of a robust launch, or you can do it a little more freestyle and flowy. I'm going to give you an outline for the launch in Low Tech Launch Live, if you're interested in this, what all you would need to have prepared in order to have a stress-free or as low tech and low stress as possible. So what would you need to think through as far as your marketing and acquiring of clients, of customers, of your ICA, your ideal client avatar? So preparing your launch materials and promotions is step 5. And then part of that is preparing either a free challenge or an informative webinar or live that has targeted messaging towards that ideal client avatar. So I've launched things with both of these methods, either a free challenge that is kind of the pre-steps to that next paid step that someone could take with you. Similar to this podcast, you could think of this podcast as a free webinar, a free live that at the end, if you're interested and you think, oh, okay, I can see how those steps would work together, but I would love to work with Ashley and a group of women to actually go through it. That's the next paid step. Whereas someone else could take these 8 steps and go ahead and just put it together and do it themselves if they felt equipped and wanted to do that too, right? So a free live or a free webinar where you are teaching something that would actually give your ideal client a result that they could either get right away or that they could implement and get a result without having to, purchase this next thing, but that this next thing, meaning your offer, would be highly helpful to them in getting them to that goal. So once you prepared your free challenge or your webinar, so basically your lead magnet to get eyeballs onto you so that you can then pitch your offer, you're going to follow up. So wherever it is that you're launching, so you've created consistent free content on a platform you'll be launching to, I do recommend building a Facebook brand group as an asset for your business. But if you are on Instagram and you love hanging out on Instagram and that feels super aligned, maybe it's Instagram, maybe it's TikTok, it's wherever you've been showing up with free content geared towards your ideal client avatar for 1 to 2 months. So back to step 7, you're going to want to follow up with posts and even an email series if you have that set up on the back end. You want to follow up because really most of your sales are going to come in that, 5 to 10 days, depending on how long you have your cart open. That's when the sales are going to come in. It's really your follow-up. It's not just that webinar and then everyone signs up, or that challenge and everyone signs up. You're going to want to follow up with posts, at least with posts, and maybe even emails, regurgitating those posts and expanding on them with offers. And there's a strategic way to do that as well. It's not just sales, 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 sales. There's a way to do that that will prompt your ideal client to take action and purchase. And then lastly, step 8 is going to be closing your cart. So you've had your idea, you've validated it, you've outlined the contents of your offer, you had all your launch materials ready, you did your free challenge or webinar, you followed up like a boss, and then the last thing you're going to do is you're going to close your cart and you're going to deliver the products or services as you promised. And that is where I have a really exciting bonus that I'm going to do for Low Tech Launch Live. I am actually going to do a bonus module, which is how to actually package up your course once you've run it live. Or if you wanted to do it in an alternative way and go ahead and package up your course, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that in the platform that I prefer, which is Kajabi. And so I'll walk you through doing that, how to create a workbook, like everything that you would need for when you are ready to add more of the technical components into your course. So if you're interested in that and these 8 steps have got your wheels turning, but you'd like some support and accountability through the implementation portion and to kind of get it done, I am going to be opening up enrollment officially for that next week, but you can go ahead and snag one of the 10 spots. Obviously, this is going to be very time intensive for me as a coach. Even with 10, I'm a little bit nervous about that, but if you would like one of those spots so that you can get the attention to your first brand offer and get it done and get it launched, then go ahead and snag one of those spots. The link will be in the show notes. And yeah, it's going to be a good time. We're going to get to know each other real well and set you up with a product and offer that you can scale your impact and income with. So get excited for that. Thank you as always for listening to the show. Thank you for sharing. You're amazing. Your support means everything to me. And I'm just so grateful for how this podcast has started out. It's been so affirming. And I'm just so grateful that you take the time out to listen and share. I hope you have a wonderful day. And until next time, cheers to your impact.